Hi guys, welcome to Tool Optics. Today we're going to have a look at how to change the blades and fine-tune your electric planer. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to replace the blades on this electric planer, and we're also going to fine-tune them to make sure that they are perfectly level with the footplate of the planer. What you'll need for to do this job is you'll need some kind of a straight edge. In my case, I've got a metal ruler. You'll need, for this planer, you need a number 8 spanner, and you'll need a number 2.5 Allen key to fine-tune the blades. Most planers these days will come with a little spanner to adjust, to loosen the nuts to pull the blades out, but I prefer to use a number 8 spanner. So let's get started. First of all, let's just check how level these blades are. Remember that there's 2 blades on this planer. So first of all, I'll just put the blade back. The planer is unplugged. Make sure it's unplugged, and just put the straight edge across. You need to lower the front plate so that it's below the line of your straight edge, and then you just move the blade across, and you'll see, just hold it lightly in place, and you can see if it's lifting the blade or not. In this case, not even lifting the straight edge. This side here, the straight edge is lifting slightly, so that means this blade is actually skew. Let's check the other blade. So when I plane, I'm not going to get a perfectly flat level on my wood. So the first thing you need to do is you need to just loosen these 3 bolts with your number 8 spanner. What you'll need to do as well is use your Allen key just to loosen the side bolt, just these depth adjusters here. Just screw them up so that they're out of the way, otherwise you can't slide the blade out. There we go. Then lower the guard on the side. Just be careful because these blades are very sharp. And then just push it out. There we go, that's the one blade out. And then do the same for the next one. I'll show you the assembly, the part that holds the blade in place. It's basically made up of 2 parts. You can see along the top here that it's got 3 larger grooves and then 3 smaller ones. And basically your blade, you'll see that side is flat, that side has a groove down the middle, and that groove holds your blade in place. So your blade kind of goes along there and is held in place by that top groove. All planer blades are double-sided, so just check to see if you've used the one side. That side is sharp, that side is blunt, so we're going to be using this side, the sharp side. And remember that your planer cuts, the blade goes forward, so the blade will be going like this, cutting forward. So you want to just get this piece here, line up your blade, hold it in place, and then it's got 2 little holes at the bottom that line that up, and it just all kind of holds together in place. Can be a little bit fiddly, but just be careful because these blades are sharp. You don't want to make it so that one end has no blade and the other has too much blade. And then the way you slide it in is the blade is going to be cutting forward, so you just push down that little guard and drop it into place. There we go. Now what you want to do is just lift this assembly Probably lift this middle screw. And we'll just tighten this middle screw a little bit. Actually, you kind of want to line it up so that it's in the middle of the plane. There we go. And just tighten that screw so that it pushes outwards and holds the whole blade assembly in place. At this stage, you just want to do the middle screw. Because you're wanting to be able to adjust the outer edges. So don't over tighten that screw. You can see I can still move the blade slightly, which is what you want. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our straight edge, we're going to hold it against the bottom, and we're going to measure to see how much do we need to raise the blade by. And in this case, I'm going to try and show you this on camera. We need to raise it by quite a bit. There's around about, I'll put my finger behind, there's around about 2 mil there on that side and around about the same on the other side. The way you raise the blade is you use an Allen key and you screw these into, you screw them down, and basically that will push this mechanism up. So if I just put that in there, I screw it down, I'm going to raise the blade on one side and then I'm going to raise the blade on the other side. So once I've done that a bit, let's just check. I've still got about 1/2 mil to go on that side. You want it so that the blade is just touching your straight edge. Then you know that it's going to be perfectly flat if it's just touching on both sides. Yep, just touching. So now that your blade is level, put that back in place. Now you can begin to tighten the screws on each side. Okay, so let's test out this planer. First of all, we're just going to set it to a 1 mil depth. And when you're using a planer, you want to be putting pressure on the front of your planer, the front shoe of your planer as you start. Then when you get into the middle of your cut, you want to be transferring your weight to the back handle, and by the time you get to the end of your cut, you only want pressure on the back. Otherwise your planer will dip and you'll gouge out the front. Well, if you put too much pressure on the back of your planer to begin with, you will gouge the beginning of your cut. So make sure that you're just putting pressure on the front. You start the and you just want to be taking off small amounts at a time. That's going to be the key to planing. Let's do a few more passes. And look at that, we've got a perfectly square edge on our wood.